Hey, it's Joe Glines from the-automator, and I wanted to give you this quick tip, just a little discussion about writing code in AutoHotkey and learning, like learning objects and things. Before I do, make sure you subscribe to my news alerts. Sign up there. You go down there and you can get alerts from me for stuff around AutoHotkey and tips and programming. So let's jump into here. Now, the other day, I did this video on voice recognition, and someone had written me and asked a question, and I'm not actually sure if the problem, the conclusion I'm making is what the issue he was having or she was having. I don't know. But what I wanted to point out was, first off, it's this line, the person was having a problem with kind of seeing the pattern, and they wanted a better way to do it. Now, what I want to first bring up is some people don't install any sort of special editor, so they'll work in Notepad. And yeah, that gets pretty hard. Let me turn off zoom. Oh, there we go. Turn off the word wrap. So this to me is much harder to see the pattern because there's no Intellisense, there's no text highlighting, right? And it drives me nuts. I see some people that do their videos and they're using Notepad, and I'm like, it's just, to me, folly to not use, and I prefer Studio. Site's also a great editor. Notepad++, another great editor. Geek Dude has one. There's a lot of great editors. Atom is another one. There's a lot of great tools and visual, there's something from Microsoft, visual something. These are all great things, and just for showing the IntelliSense, right? Because if you're working in here, it gets really hard to see. I get that, right? So to me, just the difference in this, makes it a little easier. I can see how the colons are, white dots, and they're different, right? It helps you start grasping that. So the first thing is install an editor, right? If you're a total noob, Site to me is the best thing to use. If you're not a total noob, AutoHotkey Studio is a great one, but there are other ones like Notepad++ is also a solid editor. So, all right, now your next one is that, let's see here. Let's bring this over into Site. So here I have the same thing in Site. Now my what's it called? My default theme is a little funky. So some of the colors are hard to see. So I actually, like, if I put it in AutoHotkey, some like this first ones, these words are hard to see, and I've just got to go play with it. But anyway, let's go ahead and use this. Here you can easily see these things, they pop. Now, what you need to know about AutoHotkey is you can move these things. It doesn't care about the spaces, right? So the white space. So you can begin each line with a comma. So this is what I will do when I first started working. When I first started working with objects, this is a much easier way for me to see the pattern. And what I'm doing here is I'm lining up the colons. That sounds disgusting. Line up the colons. But so see here, these are all lining up. And this, once you see it this way, suddenly the pattern is really easy to see, right? Now this is going to work just like it did the other way. So I've lined these up. So these are my keys are on the left, right? The values on the right. This is just working with an object, right? It's a key value pair. So this is the key, this is the value, and then we go to the next one, right? And if you start it with a comma, again, AutoHotkey doesn't care. So this is a great easy way to see this. Now you'll also see, like, this, again, this works perfectly fine code. You can leave it like this. And this is what I'll do when I find a complex script on the forum. That's one of the first things I do. Or let's say you're working like with the Ternary. And if you've watched my Ternary video, watch my hot string even. And let's put it back on. Let's see if yeah, I can see it mostly. Again, I'm breaking it. This time I'm breaking it on the colon on the left. But this shows me the patterns, right? First check for this. If it's that, do that. If not, then see if it's 2. If it's 2, then use that. If it's not that, do that. And if it's not that, else do something. So this, once I work with this, I will then break it all down into one line, right? Which is perfectly fine. So that's the same thing back into, well, let's go back to here. After you get this the way you like it, you can flatten it back out to one line or just leave it. Right, it doesn't change the speed of your script. It doesn't change anything, so it just makes it a little more readable. Now, I personally would rather, once I get it the way I want it, I'd flatten it out because I just don't want to have to scroll as much. But just to FYI, right, this is a great simple tip to understand when you first start working like with objects or key value pairs or an array or whatever it is. You don't have to leave it in this format where you have a hard time understanding it, right? There are things you can do to make it easier to understand. So I hope that helps. Cheers.